So if you're tired of losing and you want to win more games, then you need to know about this company, Defy Gaming. They take an already perfected machine and they make it even better. And I know that's hard to believe, especially if you're thinking about the new Dualsense for the PlayStation 5 that Sony have spent the last few decades perfecting. And it really is a work of art. And Defy Gaming are aware of this, and they give you the option to keep a bunch of the original branding on the buttons if you want. With some Pro controllers, you don't get any of that. And one of the first things that Defy Gaming do with their Pro controllers is add a textured polymer Pro grip on the back, because the original Dualsense, if you're a sweaty gamer, might get a little bit slippery in those sweaty moments. So what you see right here is the grip that you get with the Ultimate Edition. On the Pro models, you get a slightly different texture. It's a 3D textured black shell. And in my opinion, that texture is a welcomed upgrade. And before I walk you through all of the custom game-changing upgrades that are available with Defy Gaming, let's talk about style, because everybody has their own, right? Well, Defy Gaming do have a bunch of custom pre-designed Pro controllers for you to choose from, or of course you can design your own from scratch like I've done with this one. I'm calling this the Megatron. So I was really going for a retro look here, a sort of crossover between the Sony PlayStation 1 controller and the Super Nintendo. So I've chosen the soft touch matte grey on the front shell. I've used the same grey here on the touchpad, and I've kept the front trim as the original black here around the analog sticks. And at the time of this video, you can stylize these sections with 13 different colors, including two-tone options if you want, as well as 35 different stylized patterns and designs. And it had this really cool Batman Joker design, which I was very close to choosing, but I am glad I created my own because I'm probably the only one with this controller at this point in time. Now, I like the original D-pad and square, circle, triangle, X buttons here, so I've kept those as the original Sony ones. You can switch these out for mouse click buttons. You can also change the colors on these as well, and there's 16 different color options to choose from, which also include chrome finishes as well. Now, if you look closely around the bottom of the analog sticks, there are rings around the analog sticks. You can customize these as well. I've just kept them black. And if you wanted to make this controller look like a scarf controller, you could put an orange trim around that if you wanted to. And there are also 7 different colors for the analog sticks, and you can also choose different types of analog sticks. So I've got these ones here which can actually detach, and we can actually change the heights of the analog sticks if we want to. There's also a mixture of concave, convex finishes as well. I'm just sticking with the original one, but depending on the game that I'm playing, I will change those out when I need to. And you probably noticed there is no branding around the share and the menu buttons, and I've changed the color to white just to give it a little bit of an accent and a bit more contrast between the gray, the black and the white. And last but not least, if you want, you can have your name engraved on the touchpad. I opted out on that one, but now I kind of wish that I had added it. Anyway, that's the aesthetic options that Defy Gaming offer at the moment. There will likely be more in the future, no doubt. So keep an eye on the website. Now let's talk about how Defy Gaming can help you win more games, react faster with game-changing modifications. So let's start with the most important one, and that is the back paddles. So there are 2 different options to choose from on Defy Gaming's website, the 4-paddle and the 2-paddle. And you can see here, I've got the 4-paddle option. Now, if I hold down this button here, that puts it into pairing mode, and you'll see the LED comes on. Now, to remap the buttons, all I need to do is hold the button I want to remap, hold the other button I want to map it to, and that's how easy it is to configure the back paddles. And to be honest, unless you're a true pro, the 2-paddle option is going to be more than enough for you guys. And another nice tweak that you can do to the control pad, especially for first-person shooter games, is you can switch out the linear analog triggers on the L2 and R2 for instant click triggers if you want. Disclaimer though, if you're planning on playing anything other than first-person shooters, then you'll probably want to keep the linear triggers, as for some games like Astro's Playroom and Gran Turismo, for example, do require adaptive trigger functionality, that pressure sensitivity there. So I actually decided to keep the linear triggers on mine, and I just flipped the button layout from L2 and R2 to L1 and R1, where we do have that instant action triggers. And it's important to know, guys, the more modifications you make to your controller, the more it will affect the price at the end. So you've got an important question to ask yourself now: how much is winning worth to you? And whatever the answer to that question was, you will get a discount on it if you use the code WhatGear at the checkout. So now you know all about the different styles and all of the hardware modifications you can make to your DualSense controller if you buy it with Defy Gaming. But what is it actually like to use this instead of a regular controller? Well, I've been testing this out for about a week now, mainly playing Call of Duty Warzone and getting my ass kicked in the process. Because what I will say about this controller is, at first, there's quite a steep learning curve, especially if you've never used a Pro controller before. And if you have used a Pro controller before, this is going to be a breeze to use because it's really easy to find the buttons on the back without looking. And one thing that I noticed over time when using this controller is when I stopped thinking about where the buttons were and just thinking about squeezing in order to perform an action in the game, that was truly a game changer, because at that point you're just using your muscle memory in order to perform these actions by squeezing the grip instead of searching for buttons, and it really does make a big difference. And when it comes to the K3 and K4 buttons, which are the two in the middle closer to the center of the module at the back, those you kind of have to slide your finger over just a little bit. So squeeze for the regular paddle and slide over for the center buttons there. So my overall opinion, having used this for quite a while now, is my movement has definitely leveled up. Also, my accuracy and my reaction speed have improved as well. The reason I say this is because of the paddles on the back. So I'm able to map these paddles to slide and jump, so I can do what's known as the slide cancel in Call of Duty Warzone, which is quite hard to do on the regular buttons, and it's a lot easier now with these paddles. Also, you can map these other buttons here to some of the other buttons if required, for example, to hit someone with the gun when you land, because when you do that, it's more powerful than bullets, apparently.
As you see, nothing's happening right now. Give me that thing. Effective.
I truly love this controller. I do still use my original DualSense for regular PlayStation games, but mainly for Call of Duty, I will not use anything other than this because I will be at a disadvantage if I do. And Defy Gaming were nice enough to send me over the hard shell case as well. They do sell this separately. There's also a bunch of different attachments for the sticks. If you want to raise the height without actually going for the modular design, you can actually get these stick attachments. Honestly, I'm incredibly happy with this. I was thinking about getting a scuff controller, but now probably don't need one because this is an authentic DualSense controller that's been turbocharged. So guys, don't forget to use the code WhatGear at the checkout if you do want to get a discount on one of these. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you just subscribed, you're now one of the finest subscribers known to man. And I will see you guys in the next one. So don't be late.
But when it's done, we can play, I swear.
You dare defy the king?